Well, hello everyone out there in Randoland, and welcome to week 4 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. We have a race for you today between Team KFC featuring Falcon and Team Grouchy Old Men featuring Pie. I'm MindDM. Captain is going to be co-comming with me, but is getting some of the cropping done on the back end here for us, I believe. In the meantime, we'll enjoy Pie's gameplay, and it's the escape sequence. You've seen it probably dozens, if not hundreds of times before. We'll see some keys come out. This is Kabuki Drop, which means that we have a casual boot style start, where you start with a sword and boots, and you go through the escape sequence. But it's full key sanity, all dungeons, and oh yeah, we've shuffled the key drops, both under pots and from things like this blue guard here, into the general pool. Now that doesn't mean that he can't drop a small key, but in this case he doesn't. There we go. Now we've got Falcon. It looks like we're going to get 1 pot and 4 from Falcon and 2 pot from Pie. That's reasonably close, all things considered.
Okay, I think I got it done.
Looks good. Looks good. I do think we can use one layout change if you can find the button, because we've got runner trackers at the moment, and we do have the lovely and wonderful Lady Lorlando, who is willing and able to do the tracking for us tonight.
Okay, hold on.
Other than that, it looks like we are in great shape. Thank you for the hard behind the scenes work while I just sit here and talk about the thing. That's that's always fun, right? But we'll get our runners into and through this escape sequence here within the next couple of minutes, give or take. And then they'll go out into the world and start looking for 70 some odd keys, and preferably another sword and a bow or two and a hookshot, and all of the things that you would normally need to beat a seed. Since you have to do all the dungeons in this one, you're going to be looking for a lot. Especially on the key side, because this is key drop, you can't just expect, oh, well, I'm going to Aga Tower, I need 2 Aga Tower smalls, right? No, because we've shuffled the drop keys into the pool, you need 4. So now it's not, oh, I've got 2 additional ice rods, it's I've got 7 or so. you run into a lot of situations in this that you don't necessarily normally, where the keys are not always the most immediately available thing in the world. But such is life, that's what our runners have signed up for. So we've got Falcon out first at a 523-ish. When you've got all of those text boxes attached, that makes quite a bit of sense. Small key to Thieves Town in the war box. And Pie's got that as well, just a couple of seconds later. So let's have a look. We got a glove in the early going. The game's going to start giving us direction via, who knows, maybe a lamp, maybe we start getting a key to Eastern, maybe, Who knows? It's early days. We're still going to go through Kakariko Village. By that time, maybe we pull a Moon Pearl and another glove or hammer. It's entirely possible. Got a tier 2 triple with bombs. Both runners picking that up. And hoarders with full magic. Speaking of full magics, we did see from the drop prizes in the escape sequence on Pie's side that the pests are in the high value variety pack, so there are probably more bombs coming his way when he gets to something like Mini Moldorm Cave. Tier 1 tree pull, the mildly less interesting sticks. We don't have a bow yet, so we're full up. And now let's go collect everything, starting with all the keys. See, all the keys. Not a lot of direction just yet from those, but that desert key in particular, something that you're probably going to want in the fairly near future.
All right, we're set up finally. All right,
Excellent. Welcome in, Captain.
thank you.
We've got a glove, a bombos medallion, and our starting equipment, plus a bunch of keys we can't use yet.
All right, sounds like Kabuki key drop. What a sword. Yeah, bottle hammer. Okay, we're making some moves now.
That second sword will give us the first check in Aga Tower. Not that I expect anybody to go rushing right over to that, but it is something that's true now.
Since we got that bottle, we're gonna check Sick Kid here. Sick Kid have anything useful? We got a big key. First one of the match, the Hera.
That's fine. Once we can access Hera, you could do the dungeon logically. Imagine doing Hera logically and not just hookshotting through and missing the big key forever.
Onto the South Tech Rigo here. We got the library, we got the race game. We got a what a shock! A small key in the library. Key
Who
to
left their
pod.
keys in the library? It was Pod. Pod, we found your keys in the library. Got your name tag on them.
Yeah, Pod and Hera is the only two dungeons that don't really change in this mode, since there are no pot keys or drops from enemies. So yeah, Pod still has 6 keys, and Hera still has the 1. Every other dungeon has some kind of pot key or some kind of key drop. Oh look, there's a key at the race game. What a shock! All
And
right.
some of them get really outlandish, like Swamp all of a sudden, instead of 1 key, has 6.
Yeah.
And
Picking up a
Ganon's tower
lot of
has
small
8.
keys. That Ganon Tower has 8. Wow. Okay.
Pretty
That's
sure.
a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's a big dungeon. It makes sense, but yeah.
Looks like we're going to get a very small divergence here. No, never mind. Pie's turning left after all. I wondered if he was just going to go to Mini Moldorm Cave first and then sweep left, but no, he just decided he was going to take those dash lines instead. That's fine. With the hammer and the glove already, it certainly feels like we're looking for a Moon Pearl, and that'll just open up even more nonsense for us to check without having any clearable dungeons on the table. It's certainly a mode where you want to try to minimize your double dips, but sometimes it just forces them on you, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Yeah, for sure. Pi is going to Agina here. Possibly check the desert ledge. Looks like. Hey, we got another check in Castle Tower we can do.
Can do. It's the second one you need the lamp for to be logical, but you kind of expect that to come out in this mode. There's too much lamp locked for it to not.
Yeah, I think agate seeds in this mode for Dark World's pretty rare, since you would need 4 keys, a lamp. There's a lot of things just to have an agate seed. So.
Doesn't look like Pi found anything out of Agina there, just a piece of heart. So Falcon's going to give us Ice Rod Cave.
Same thing.
Oh look, the terrible Sphere 1 locations had absolutely nothing. That's kind of rare in Key Sanity, and even rarer in Key Drop, but here we are.
On to the flipper. Some out of logic flipper checks here. Waterfall area. We just find a map, the skull, and a compass to pod. Yeah.
Nothing but punishment here. Have 2 text boxes and 2 things that you didn't really want anyway.
Nothing on Hylia Island. We're gonna go check Man Under the Bridge, aka Hobo, aka George. I call him George. Say hi to George. Hi, George.
Hey George, how you doing? Got anything good?
Nope. Not today.
I'm kind of surprised by the relative paucity of small keys. We've gotten a few, but honestly I was expecting more.
We got 3 checks to Zaha, 3 checks in Eastern 4, I guess.
Well,
4
you
or
can
5.
do 3 logically, and then you can do another one out of logic in the key drop room in Dark Square. If we find a small key there, we could go... Oh, well, there's the lamp.
Okay.
The game's kind of been hinting about that for a little while with that Castle Tower small showing up.
Green Pendant Hera, that's really good news since we already had the big key for it. Something that cannot be in GT.
I would certainly be very suspicious if the game also throws me early Hera access about what might be on that green pendant.
Just a mirror away at this point. So we got 2 checks up the mountain we can do. We can do the 4 logical checks here in Eastern. Oh, we could have lifted a pot next to that chest and got that. Thank you, game.
Other than that, we've got a couple of checks up the mountain, and that pretty much puts paid to what we have at the moment, I think. So it's pretty likely that something is in here.
And we do have 2 checks at Castle Tower, too, to worry about now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if that's gonna come into play. Maybe one of them's the Moon Pearl. Maybe we just have a bunch of vanilla Castle Tower keys to tap for the Moon Pearl on the pyramid. Who knows? Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
there's the mirror.
Again, my suspicions of that green pendant are growing.
Mm-hmm.
With the hammer, that also gives us a whole bunch of additional checks on the mountain, not just what we can get at in Hera, but we've also got East Light Mountain now.
True. Let's check in Eastern. We have a small key to Meyer. Okay, well, we got a lot of those now.
Compared to some of the other things we've been getting, those seem a little less immediately important. We have no mitts, no flute, no moon pearl. We've only got one of the 3 medallions. Looks like after that mirror showed up, Falcon decided, well, here we are. The mountain has a whole lot more density than those 2 checks I could do in Castle Tower. And it probably works out for him as long as the mitts just don't happen to show up in one of those 2 Castle Tower checks.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's a whole lot else that could be there that really changes anything that he's going to do with what he finds up here.
Yes. Another skill with a small key. We need a few of those to beat the dungeon to move around. We got a couple already, so looking pretty good there.
We'll see what Pi wants to do here, if he wants to go ahead and make the mountain play as well, or, yeah, he wants to make the mountain play as well. The Siren Song of Density calls to our runners.
Yeah, I mean, you can't pass up 7 items in Paradox, 1 in Spiral, so the few in Hera you can do, so yeah. Yeah, speaking of Zora, you see Falcon picking up that 20, getting closer to that 500 rupees for Zora, so that's still on the table too. Not gonna go out of his way for that one though.
Yeah, you see that cash money. He's like, do I really want to sit through the switches flipping and the pegs and then getting back to the mirror and getting out? Yeah, no, I don't think so. $20, not that worth. I'll probably run into a 50 or another 300 or something. I am mildly surprised that Falcon is opting for this rather than doing East Mountain first, on the chance that, well, there are 8 checks over there, maybe a hookshot comes out and this dungeon gets just a little faster. This is certainly not unreasonable, but some people get a little greedy when it comes to doing Hera the fast way.
More Skullwoods checks to potentially do. We could pretty much full clear the front of Skullwoods now when we get Dark World access.
And Pi is going to opt for the alternate strategy here.
Well, that was a
poke.
We're fine.
But that's a poke too, and that works just fine.
Okay, so not much going on in Hera, but that green pendant is looming.
Green pendant's still outstanding. At this point, you're kind of hoping, well, maybe my moon pearl is up here and I can turn that in when I go to pod later.
I give us the first look into Paradox Cave here. Our moon
He
pearl
took a
here.
slightly
We gotta go
safer-
somewhere else.
Yeah, he took a slightly safer route into this because he was on relatively low health and those Tektites do 2 hearts of damage.
Oh no, not as Stalky to Eastern.
Oh yeah.
Any triple dip Eastern fans in chat? Jeez, oh Pete. All right. Ice Rod. Another Desert Small. Item that won't be named. A heart and flippers.
So those flipper checks that we cheated our way into via the Waterwalk state are now in logic. Neither of our runners went and checked what was on Zora's Ledge since they didn't have money for Zora proper at that point in time, so that's still a check that is kind of looming out there in the distance somewhere.
I gotta go finish off Hera. So, okay.
And interestingly enough, the Moon Pearl didn't show up here. That's mildly surprising to me. And again, my suspicions of that green pendant continue to loom.
I think Falcon's thinking the same thing here.
I don't know that aside from Agina's Closet, Falcon has a whole lot left. He's got those 2 checks in Castle Tower, which absolutely could be the thing. But he's going to try this first.
Shovel. Great.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So, I heard you like fetch quests. Do you like to dig for buried treasure?
I wasn't surprised to see a book here, honestly, with how many Desert Swallows we have.
It's certainly possible. We have enough Desert Smalls to make everything but right side and the boss logical.
Ow, I'm right.
Good call, Captain. Good call. So, I heard you like fetch quests. Like a little light reading material?
Oh my god. Did I just call that? Wow. You don't spend the right side one, do you?
No.
No. You want to make sure you have enough to get to the boss first.
Since you don't have the big key, maybe you get a little spicy and you decide to set up a save scum of it and have a look at what's in there and learn whether or not you should just keep what you get or know that you're not looking for a final DP small.
Oh yeah, that does open up Ether tablet too. Eesh. Good grief. Okay.
High quality book placement.
Looks like Falcon's good. Just go ahead and knock out this right side here first. Maybe reset after. No, you can't reset after this. Maybe take. Oh, okay, never mind. That's what we needed.
That's really interesting, actually. So, where is DPSK4? It could just be in one of the desert checks that Falcon hasn't done yet. It could be in Castle Tower.
It Could be at that desert ledge right there. There's a small key on desert ledge.
Oh, it absolutely could be that key. But that key has to be accessible. Wherever it is, it has to be accessible, and it has to be accessible right now.
Not there. Oh, we got a big key. Desert? Eastern. Oh boy. Where's our bow game?
That could be a logical requirement for a DPSK in Eastern Palace Big Chest. That would be kind of hilarious. I don't think anybody's going to go get that right now if that's true, but it could be.
TR small. Gonna get the few checks in back of the desert here we can get. Ooh, hook shot. That's a pretty nice find.
That's a good one. Amongst other things that can do, using Spexy Statue, you can save yourself a Swamp Palace small key, and now that there are 6 of those that you need, you can lower that requirement to 5. It's pretty nice.
Or check.
And everybody's just doing this right side desert play. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's working out for him, but yeah.
This would absolutely ruin me, Captain. I would be nowhere near this Moon Pearl. I would be back out of Desert Palace. I'd be roaming around the overworld looking for wherever I left my Moon Pearl. So I'm going to Castle Tower right now, and then probably pulling my DPSK there and coming right back. But no, it's working out really well for our runners.
First trip into the Dark World for Falcon here. Pi is finishing off the desert checks.
Let's see what Johnny's got for us today. It's a key. Goes to Turtle Rock.
Mickey to Meyer. A cape. And nothing else. It really feels like maybe Castle Tower has that small key, the desert that we're missing because of the 2 we got and the lamp. That would be my guess since I called the book so early, but I don't know. Just throwing that out there. How about Bombo's tablet?
Ooh, Pi got a little off grid there and didn't get his key dash. Well, let's see this Bombo's tablet. We've got a key.
BT, okay.
In normal key sanity, you think, okay, well, I've got 1 Ganon's Tower key. That's fine. I mean, 1 is really convenient. A couple gets you through the things you need to do. But now that we've upped the total to 8, you need a little more.
Yeah, a little bit more, yeah.
You're a little happier to see those now, because even if you're just climbing, if it's pure climbers, you still need several.
Even Ice Palace, you can't even get into the front without 1 key, which they thankfully have, but yeah. $8.45, just a piece of heart. Hi, it's not going to Hype Cave.
That may just be a mistake, and I'm not sure what to make of that, honestly. That's one of those things where if it's even in regular key sanity, that would be a really spicy skip. In key drop, you're just asking for trouble there.
Yeah.
Even if you're not playing Key Sanity, skipping a 5-item cave is incredibly risky.
Maybe he had ideas of going north from here.
That's certainly possible. Maybe he just wanted to get Bombo's tab off the table first. And we'll see, because he may continue this through Pyramid Catfish. That's entirely possible.
You don't want to go to pod with, what do they got, one key? Yeah, you're not going to pod yet, so.
One key is a logical breakpoint, but you don't have a bow yet. You do have the Eastern Big, so if you had a bow, I could see making that combo play. That's not the world we're living in right now, though.
Hey, red crystals at Thieves Town and pod.
A couple of relatively accessible dungeons. And no, Pie's just making a bit of an odd loop of this. Falcon having a bit of an adventure here in the Gibdo statue room in the middle of Skull Woods, heading for the Vanilla Big Key location. Gets through. Was not necessarily the cleanest room in the world, but the rooms that you get through and don't die are better than the rooms that you have to start over.
See what's under the key pot in here? Yeah, just 20 rupees. That's our second Eastern Palace walkie, so everything in front of Eastern's now with logic.
We've got a whole lot of logic for Eastern Palace. If we can have a bow, all of a sudden, that's looking pretty enticing.
Another GT small. He was saving 2 keys there for Skullwood. There's our Quake medallion. It's medallion number 2.
Interesting with the Meyer Big and already 3 Meyer Smalls. Now, I think there are something like 5 or 6 Meyer Smalls in this flavor, but having 3 of them already says that, well, maybe this is a place you want to start looking at. Without the flute, you don't get to start looking at it, though, whether we've got the medallion or not.
This pyramid check. We got another small key. There's pod 2.
Our next logical pod breakpoint is at 4. I don't know that 2 with no bow really gets you thinking, well, I'm going to get over to pod in a more timely manner. When the additional Eastern Small comes out for Pi, that's probably when he starts thinking, well, I'm starting to see some density over there. But with these flippers, what this route is going to do for him is he's going to be able to check Catfish Mirror and find out what's on Zora Ledge, and he does have Zora money, just barely. ₹504 will get the job done, but I hope he doesn't want to go to pod anytime soon.
I don't think he's going to accept 4. Just a compass. Oh, look, money in Thieves Town.
Chat wondering about not checking Castle Tower 1 and 2 while Pi was at Pyramid. I'm going to assume that was just a moment of forgetfulness because that was a perfect time to do it.
See, what do you got, Zora? a heart.
Pi says no. Pi of a couple of years ago probably takes that.
Oh, there's the big key to desert. So with that, if I do that other desert belt small key now, that means we can clear out desert.
Desert, it feels at this point, is in a position where the game wants you to be able to do it, but you're certainly going to hope to pull your mitts and your flute and just backdoor in rather than sitting through the statue moving sequence a second time.
Look at bumper ledge that Falcon almost ran by here. Just some bobs though.
You've already got the cape, it's good to know what's there, and it seems like our runners are going to meet in the middle here. We're coming at the Northern Dark World loop from opposite sides.
We got ledge, just a map. Swamp and powder and King's Tomb.
That'll be another check that Pi can do, and he's over in the area. Which is the direction he's heading. It seems less likely that Falcon is going to get to that particularly soon, since I would expect he's going to go to Catfish and get those Zora area checks from here. Pi just looks at the map and says, nope, you know what, I don't want the text box, I want my 3 seconds, I'll hang on to that, it's 80.
Map check did show that Skull Woods and TR are both crystals, so we're gonna see a pretty good information there, knowing that what you're gonna need before you get the GT. So we're gonna kind of see these runners spot places here as Falcon's gonna check out Catfish, Zora, and Pi headed just the village here.
He'll probably end that route up in Skull Woods. The idea here being he's already done the Southern Dark World checks below the village, so he does all of this first in hopes of pulling the Fire Rod.
Yeah. Right, we are going to get a new check here, the Magic Bat. It's a little shocking that the flippers did not really produce any kind of progression with how early they were.
We do have access to the first chest and only the first chest of Swamp Palace. I wondered what Falcon was going for there, because Pi definitely did not go for that. I wonder if he just didn't I spy that as he was going by. We're getting Falcon back up on the mountain here, probably Spike Cave. I don't know that there's a lot left up here at the moment.
Yeah, Ether Tablet.
Oh, we've got Ether Tab, yeah. See if that yields anything good.
There it is.
Ew. So come up the mountain, do Green Pendant Hera for your shovel, to dig up your book, to go into, well, you could go into Desert Palace, but you're supposed to go back up the mountain first, to do Ether Tablet to have all of your DPS Ks so that you can get your Logical Moon Pearl in right side. Alright, game. I hate every last second of that.
Oh, the Myths and Spike Cave. Oh my goodness. Wow. What a find for Falcon.
All of a sudden, the world is Falcon's oyster. I highly suspect that we're going to see Dark Mountain right now.
Yeah.
And after that, he can make whatever choices he wants. But this is 6 quick checks, plus we may be able to open Turtle Rock with one of these medallions, but without a red cane, we can't really do anything in there unless Falcon is a very proficient hoverer. The hover into Turtle Rock is quite long. And Pie's going to head up here into Skullwoods as expected, and he'll go ahead and pull most of the checks. With no Fire Rod, we're not going to get all of them just yet.
There's our final fetch quest, the mushroom.
So, I heard you like fetch quests. How about a tasty treat?
Yeah, look at the TR medallion maybe. Here he is. It certainly looks like it. Wait, we have it.
Vanilla medallion, but unless the Cane of Samaria comes out here in Hookshot Cave, we're not going to do anything with that right now. Just one of those peace of mind things relating to Small Key to Turtle Rock. Okay, game, I see what you're doing there.
More health. Nothing else. But myths are a pretty big find here. We're getting a pet check here on Pie's side.
Mitts are solid. That mushroom is still a fetch quest to be named later.
Ooh, that's red. Oh, big key for swamp. Ooh. Oh,
I heard you like a fetch quest. One that you absolutely don't want to do.
Oh my goodness.
It's AD. If the game gives you all of the pendants, you can just go pull that, but that's not really something you want to see as an outstanding check on PED. It's the kind of thing where you just have to play as if this isn't going to be a thing unless the game just super telegraphs to me that all of the pendants are really readily available and I probably ought to go pull it.
Yeah, I really hope Swamp's a pendant now, by the way. Just say, oh my goodness. All right. That's pretty gross.
Speaking of medallions, required Quake in the front right check of Skullwoods. Pie grabs that. As well as that small key to GT.
Yeah, since they have 3 small keys, they're free to spend 1 in the front, so they'll have 2 for the back.
There's that second Eastern small for Pie.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's 5 small keys for Skullwoods. Is that correct?
There are 3 chest keys and 1 pot key and 1 key on the Gibdo. Yeah, 5.
Yeah. Yeah,
Falcon's going to start giving us mitts checks.
Yeah. But Pie's right back up on the mountain here. Not gonna miss out on those for very long. So that's good news for Pie.
It's also going to give him the last desert key that he's going to need eventually. Just depends on when he wants to go back there. And of course, the mitts appearing makes it even more likely that you say, no, I'm going to wait for the flute, I'm going to wait for the flute, and, well, let's just say that the flute is on Land Molas today. That would be kind of hilarious.
Oh, gosh. It has the 3rd medallion. Okay, so we're guaranteed entry into Myra when we get over there.
The game's been hinting in that direction, but it needs to give our runners a flute, otherwise all of the hints don't mean anything. We may be at the point where our runners have to start seriously considering going to those bow dungeons without a bow.
Yeah.
Particularly Falcon, who's starting to run out these MITS checks. And given that he's going to save quit with that purple chest and get back into the light world, yep, he could pick Dark World access up here if he really wanted to, but it seems unlikely that Swamp Palace is really on his mind right now.
Don't even have any Swamp Smalls yet, which is very concerning.
No, you can go in and you can do one check. That's all you got.
We got a big key to TR on the purple chest. That's going to be needed. But yeah, okay, so Falcon's going to go ahead and finish off Desert here.
Going to go ahead and accept the time that it takes to go in the front door versus getting a completable dungeon, as opposed to going to incompletable dungeons and hoping for the best. I'm not against this. I would certainly understand, say, if Pi decides to make the alternate choice there and be a little greedier and see if he can't get the flute to pop out somewhere. Pi with the Ether Medallion there from the Smith, going to go ahead and grab Purple Chest as well. And he's going to keep his Dark World access here. I wonder if we will see First Chest Swamp.
Very well could.
If we don't, I believe that Falcon's route is actually faster to just go ahead and save quit the house. Maybe not, though, because this will allow Pi to dash once he gets onto some of these longer screens like this one.
He's already done Bombo's tablets, so this is... I'm making the same play in the Desert here, so just a heart container. Adds a pendant on Desert, so... Okay, that's our second pendant knowledge.
Second pendant that the game made really accessible. All of a sudden, Pi doesn't know it yet, but here in a couple of minutes, he's going to start having the same thought I think that I'm having right now. The game, and having that PED knowledge of that Swamp Palace big key, one of the few truly non-logically required big keys in the game. And I have my suspicions, Captain. I really do.
Yeah. First, we got the big chest here in Desert. Didn't get to before. We got a small key to scope on. Okay, well, don't really need that now, but okay.
Logically speaking, they all have to show up, but realistically speaking, once you've got 3, you're set.
Like, he's gonna go ahead and knock out the pyramid. And probably into pod, probably mirror into Eastern, check those checks, because we don't really have much left. We could go into ice for a couple, but we don't have a lot of small keys for that. And then there's that one check in swamp. And I think Falcon's going to be glad he did the pyramid before pod. That's gonna allow him to get some more checks here in pod. Oh, he's gonna go ahead and do the castle tower checks here. If he can find the correct spot in the mirror. He was a pixel off. Thanks, game. There we go.
I see that used primarily from people playing entrance randomizer, so it really weirded me out for just a second when he didn't go in that right-hand door.
Let's see if Falcon can pull out another, maybe something of substance here, but just 10 arrows in the first chest. A little surprised Pie's not using the ice rod here for Landwell, but
yeah, I was holding my tongue, but now that you said it, Pie, I hate everything about that Landmullis fight you just did.
All right, so turns out skipping the first two checks in Castle Tower was a good choice.
Yeah, sometimes it works out for you. We'll see where Pie wants to go next, as it certainly looks like Falcon is heading for that eastern pod area. There's not a whole lot else left for him right now.
Pie is going to ice.
This certainly looks like an ice play to me. There's not anything else left in this area for him to do. He's just going to go on in and have a look.
Okay, well, we're going to see we got some divergence here, so we're going to see which one's correct and which ones may also be correct, but we don't know. We'll see.
And divergence is something that Pie needs right now. Falcon has definitely been just a little cleaner through our first hour of this, and, well, hey, there's a big key to Thieves Town. We've got, what, one Thieves Town small? You need two to be able to beat that dungeon. But one gets you into the back for some more checks. Piece of Heart's a bit less interesting. 10 sticks on Falcon's side, also not anything to write home about. And I think Pie has one more available check in here because there's a key door after Conveyor Bari.
Looking like the checks in pod are not going to produce anything because we're out of logical checks in pod now, so everything else that Falcon does here is going to be out of logic. Unless Pie pulls a bow and ice bow. Just 10 arrows there, so okay, that's it.
Yeah, just the Thieves Big, so that doesn't even give us the availability to clear Thieves Town. It does give us, what, 2 additional logical checks? In the pot key in the hallway after the big key door, and then Maiden Cell?
Yeah. We got our first swamp small there on the Bollock-sided pod, so that doesn't really tell us anything.
It tells you you're supposed to have a bow available before you get that particular swamp small, and also that you're supposed to have 4 pod smalls before getting that particular swamp small. Okay, well.
Oh, pod small and pod. Okay.
Why I never. What is this world coming to, Captain? Pod smalls and pod.
What a thought. Even in key drop, pod smalls still show up in pod. And we got a big key to ice. That doesn't do a lot right now.
That does absolutely nothing right now, but that is an interesting 6 pod key locked logical clear of Ice Palace.
Here. Yeah, it's looking more and more like the front of Eastern has something. We got a big key to pod. Okay, sure.
Ow, that's a little
Yeah,
rough, but okay.
yeah. If we saved the key, we could have beat this dungeon. But how
We're
are
not
you
going to beat
supposed
this
to know?
dungeon just yet, not unless that was a bow, and it's a small key to Castle Tower instead.
That's number 3. One more
So
to
one
fully
more.
clear Castle Tower. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that additional Castle Tower small could be interesting because having done the first 2 checks, it's unlikely that Falcon thinks of that as somewhere that he's going to go running right back to anytime soon until the game forces him into it by doing
Mhm.
literally everything else. That's kind of a last location for him at the moment.
Okay, so we're gonna get our 3 more checks here in Eastern. We got the big chest, we got the big key chest, and we got the one with that. I can't think of the name. What we got in the big chest? Just $20.
With no bow, it makes a lot of sense for Falcon to just go ahead and check this first. It doesn't do him any good, but it is a time save versus doing the entire loop around to the Vanilla Big Key location and then coming back through more screen transitions to go check that. Unless, of course, there's a bow in the Vanilla Big Key location, in which case you'll feel a little bad.
Mm-hmm. What do they have left in Logic? The first chest is Swamp. I think that's it.
Third chest, Castle Tower. And 2 checks logically in Thieves.
Oh yeah, Thieves Town, yeah.
Now, Falcon doesn't know that yet, because that Thieves Town Big Key is the first key drop Bari in Ice Palace, which is not a place he's been to yet.
Okay, so we pulled the Ice Palace small key out of Eastern. Does that change anything?
Hi, that's not
for
going to
ice?
work, and you know that's not going to work. He placed the bomb down before he placed the bomb right, and the only way to salvage that would have been to pick up the bottom bomb and throw it away and then get into position.
Okay, so yeah, so already in chat, Ice Palace is fully, not fully clearable, but you can beat ice now with those 2 small keys.
And Pie's going to go to the Vanilla Big Key location and finds the red cane of Samaria.
Wow.
Oh my.
Oh,
All of a sudden, all of those 6 key locked... these pod smalls have to show up, Captain. I think we had 6 key locked things in all 3 non-boss locations. And of course the boss is required anyway because it's AD. Where are our pod smalls, game?
That's a spicy play there from Pie, and it paid off big for him.
Now, he does have more keys to that dungeon, and he's just choosing not to go to the back just yet. That's interesting. Maybe he's just going to try to hang on to that for a hot minute and see if he can't get Pod Big and a bow and just clear it on the next trip. But Falcon is going to show us more Ice Palace here because he does have a key to get through this key door. Let's see what happens. One additional key gets us this resort check. For 20 bucks. Also gets us the big chest.
You can get the pot in the ice room. Got a small key. Oh, okay, game. Ow.
Falcon having a bit of an adventure there with that anti-fairy.
Ace key has a small key to... Okay, well, that's a completable Thieves Town now for Falcon.
All of a sudden it feels like Falcon may have a little direction here. I don't know whether or not he's the kind of runner who likes to hold off from beatable thieves until he's got fully clearable thieves, but it's something that is on the menu. And here comes Master Sword Hammer Cold Stare from Falcon. He did drop into the fairy refill room to make sure that he had full health for this before coming on in. Let's see what happens. He's also got the cape if things get a little dicey. Cape half magic if the hammer portion of this fight doesn't go great is not a terrible backup strategy. And those puffs did get out of the corner faster than you would want them to. You'd like to get a couple, 3 hammer strikes on the full triplicate of them before you have to start worrying about individuals, but he does have a puff down. 2 puffs down.
There we go. Nicely done. Hey, that's our first crystal of the match, believe it or not. Hour and 5 minutes.
Well, the game's been making pendant dungeons really accessible, and you kind of had to touch them both, so here we are.
I's gonna go ahead and go back in here and check that right side of Ice Palace at the big key chest and the room I like to call Hamlet because you need a hammer and a glove. I think that's what he has left. Finding that Cadence Samaria allowed that Rowdy in Ice Palace to be able to do the icebreaker. So.
Save just a little bit of time. Falcon's having a little trouble with the switches and bomb placement, but he'll get on through here in a second. We'll see how Pie's fight goes with Cold Stare. 1 whack, yeah, he also didn't really get them cornered properly.
Don't have that potion anymore since they spent it in pod, so.
He's got one puff down, though. He's in a bit of a tight spot on health, but now he's good because all the puffs are exploding and the ice has stopped falling.
Nicely done.
Puts his first crystal on the board as well, tying our runners back up on dungeon count. I believe Falcon is a little ahead on checks here, but now that he's working his way through to the last couple of checks in ice, Pie'll have an opportunity to go pick something new.
I would think Thieves Town now. Probably.
I would be very tempted by Thieves Town.
Ooh, Harrismall. Didn't see that one earlier.
That's probably more interesting to Pie than it is to Falcon, but you never know. It's a bit of a slow check. You'd like to avoid it if you can. Pie, please. The tree is just as sturdy as it was the first time.
That's a Thieves Town small for Falcon. So that's probably going to be the next play, I would think. Just an Ice Palace. Okay.
Yep, the other Ice Palace Small have a nice day. It was more convenient for Pie when he just icebreakered through and picked that up on the route. Because not having that and not having the Red King put Falcon in a position where he had a more inconvenient route through ice, which is why, although he was in there first, Pie is the first of the two runners to get into Thieves Town afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pie does have all 3 small keys to this dungeon.
Oh.
Well, that's fancy. According to our tracker, so does Falcon. I'm not sure where that third one came from. But hey, we've got a fully clearable Thieves Town, folks. Let's go get the goods, shall we?
All right, well.
We can see from the HUD that it's a crystal, so it's not another one of these situations where the game had said, hey, here's a fully clearable pendant dungeon. You like?
There were 2 in Ice Palace. Okay.
Oh, there were 2 in ice. All right.
So yeah, clearly this is where you want to go. Okay, another pod small.
We'll get a little high five action here.
Yeah, if you're rooting for Falcon here, you really want to find a bow to get him back over the pod to get that Samaria, because I don't see him going there back anytime soon without a bow or a couple more small keys.
Yeah, but similarly, Pie is in a position where how long does he want to greed for that big key that's just 6 key locked in the dungeon?
Mm-hmm.
Especially since the last small key to that dungeon is in the dungeon. Although that may have been one of the ones he had access to in the checks that he did. I do not remember right off the top of my head. See what the big chest has for us. Piece of heart.
Which leads me to believe that Blind's going to have something important here. I'm thinking,
I don't know,
like
it may have just been make sure you get all of your pod smalls, because literally every 6 key locked location in pod has something that you've absolutely got to have to beat the seed.
That flute's got to show up here soon, though. I think we're going to see a flute pretty soon.
If Blind doesn't have something, all of a sudden, Swamp Palace is looking a little more interesting. We do have that one small key for it now.
A TR small.
TR small's kind of fancy from Pie's consideration with that red cane. If he just assumes that there's another pod small out there somewhere and that his red cane is logical, that's a pretty decent chunk of Turtle Rock he can do.
So first chest and swap is the pod small? I would guess. Okay, well, yeah. Pie is hearing the call of Turtle Rock here, so he's gonna go ahead and jump in there, see what we can get. No fire rod, so we can't do all the checks in the front. But...
Yeah, I don't know that Pie has even done Dark Mountain yet. So from his perspective, this is 6 overworld checks and what 4 smalls and a big and Cane of Samaria gives him in Turtle Rock.
That's true, yeah. But yeah, looks like Falcon's gonna go ahead and see what he can pull out of Swamp here.
Because with one small key, this is what? 1, 2, 3? 3 logical checks? And he's got a couple, but one of them was on Bowlock side pod, and we don't have an answer for how we're putting that in logic yet. And we
Swamp is a pendant! Oh, God.
Alright, well, goodness. Lucky nobody did first chest swamp. $50 is not going to change anything for our runners right now.
We got the map chest, map chest and the pot key. And there is a small key to ice. Okay. Oh, mushroom. We haven't turned in the mushroom yet. Oh, another TR small in swamp. So, and we got one more check here. I think this is all the logic that we can do. So this just a piece of heart. So mushroom might be the answer here, actually.
Of course, Falcon being in here already is not going to skip these checks just because they're not logical behind one more small key just yet. We're going to go have a look-see and see what's behind finding that third swamp small. But Pie's going to give us some new checks of his own. It is time to enter the Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rock. Meanwhile, behind the third swamp small, we're still trying to put Skull Woods into logic. I think we have put Skull Woods into logic at that point.
We did turn it. We
don't have a fire rod.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought last Ice Palace small key in TR. So according to the chat, we did see what was the mushroom turn in was. It was a shield, so we're not going to go back to that.
Oh, that's right. Falcon safe quit out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're missing that big key, Falcon. You don't know where it is yet, but you're missing it.
You got to beat Swamp to get that big chest.
Yeah, don't worry. Your opponent's
the bow in TR! Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow.
Alright, so there's an interesting little bit of logic. That'll give Pie some direction. Probably gets him back over to those bow dungeons at least somewhat soon.
Oh, you see? Oh, Falcon's going to Hair Basement. I don't think he has much left.
No, he's going to get forced back into those pod checks here fairly soon.
But yeah, that's going to be a completable pod for Pi now. He doesn't know it, but his 6 pod smalls in pod, so.
And his pod big's in pod as well.
Yeah.
Pi, please don't go any nearer that door. Thank you. Please do not.
No, oh my. Oh.
Okay, dude.
That's the question.
This... Captain, I know we're not supposed to be particularly judgmental here, but that's a lifestyle choice that I cannot approve of, personally. One does not merely open the Jesse door.
At least when Jesse did it, there was a TR small in there. Still, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, true. I know what you're talking about. All right. Hera basement. You have pod 6. Yes. There we go. And confusion on the... Probably confusion on the face of Falcon there. Like, huh?
Well, it's going to get him pointed in the right direction, though. Because now he knows that he can open absolutely everything in there, and he knows that it's either here or Castle Tower 3, and, well, there's more here. It's going to be interesting to see when Pi goes back, though, because he's going to pull the flute out of Mimic Cave, and all of a sudden his options include more than just going back to Palace of Darkness, because that's going to give him access to Mire.
Yeah, that's a beatable Mire for Pi now. There's CT4. That's a completable Castle Tower. The
That
fourth
may
one was
also
in
be
pod.
something he does before going back to pod.
I think the 4th key was in pod though, so.
Ah, was the other one in the back? You may be right about that, actually, now that I stop and think about it.
We can get the laser bridge here.
I think Pi's only saving grace in opening the Vanilla Big Key location is that knowing this is a crystal dungeon, and he can see that on his HUD, so he knows it for sure, is that that key cannot be buried in GT. He knows that it's going to be in the overworld somewhere, or in a dungeon that he's going to have to be able to access before GT somewhere.
Which we know is in Swamp. Red mail. A sword.
Bit of a
Fall.
red laser bridge here, which is certainly not something that he's going to turn his nose up at.
And, well, speaking of red.
And now he feels awful.
Yeah. Yeah, he could have completed this. Oh, man. Wow. So, unbeknownst to Falcon here, he's going to go ahead and knock out just full clear TR here.
With all the keys, he can open the Vanilla Big Key location. He has absolutely no problem with that. Meanwhile, Pi's going to activate this flute, and if he doesn't go to the Mire area, I'm going to be shocked. I guess he can do Skullwood. I guess he can go ahead and kill Moth while he's here. He is kind of in the area right now. And that's exactly what he's going to do. But once again, this is just another one of those cases where the route has worked out a little cleaner for Falcon, and, well, there's also the fact that Pi did kind of inflict this one on himself. But it's a little of column A and a little of column B. It was Falcon's choice to go to Swamp and get that other TR small that's going to save that from ever being a problem for him. So what are our real outstanding question marks at the moment? Is it CTSK4 and GT Big? Although I think we have the CTSKs between us, it's just that both runners need to go pick one more up. Oh, and Swamp Smalls, yeah. For some reason, the existence of 27 Swamp Smalls in this mode will never cease to confuse me. But Swamp's a pendant, so those could be just about anywhere. Mothula down for Pi. Let's see. Something interesting, something good. 10 sticks. Pi is going to go ahead and get that mushroom turn in now. He'll see the mirror shield. We'll see if he takes it. No, he takes a blue potion instead. This is reasonable. Mire area up next, not arming Spooky. I didn't see that, but Pi, it doesn't matter, you have all of the medallions. I do that sometimes too, I like to know what I'm actually quick swapping towards. Get a fourth Mire Small there from Mire Shack, so key under the doormat as it were. And Falcon's going to get all of his goods on Laser Bridge, and then he's going to show us what Trinex has. You get a mail upgrade, you get a sword, and you're thinking, hey, this is pretty nice. We're gonna go ahead and do some other things now. Oh, never mind, that fire rod says that I'm just gonna do the boss. And then, when I'm done doing the boss, I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna do the front right checks that I don't think Pi did before he left. Did he? Falcon being a bit aggressive there, but with the red mail, you can afford that. Key drop Ari just has a heart container for Pi here in Misery Mire. There's one of those all-important boomerangs. It's been a very red mire so far, and accordingly with Pie's palette. And so we're going to get the 2 fire rod locked checks. We've got a small key to Ganon's tower and the vanilla big key location for Mire. Alright, that's a little time consuming for a key that we're probably not going to care about in the end of the game. Compass and 20 bucks. Okay, so Pie didn't miss anything. He just needs to never give that time back by checking it, which he probably will because he's going to have to go back in and beat Trinex at some point anyway.
Yay, another sword. Hooray.
I'm going to make all these fights just a little easier for him, so his Trinex fight will be mildly less concerning. But again, when you have 16 hearts, red mail, tempered sword, you're not really worrying about Trinex anyway.
I think it'd be reasonable here for Falcon to just go ahead and run north, knock out Moth, maybe go do Pod in Eastern. We got a small key. There's another Swamp Small in the big chest of Mire, so that's looking more and more likely here for Pie.
I think he really is Pie, just in that trap of, I want to have the pod big before I go back over there. Sure, I pulled this bow, but I'd like to be a little more greedy and not continue over dipping that dungeon.
Yeah.
Which, as long as he's still pulling small keys that he needs to clear Swamp Palace, that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world for him. Because Falcon, knowing that he has access to clear those crystal dungeons, may be thinking, well, all the rest of my Swamp Smalls are in GT, and I've got GT access for sure already.
Oh, by the way, shout out to Fishbone Room. This is the only mode, besides like Crisscross or something, you see this room in, so nice to see this once in a while.
It's a very aptly named room. It has a very evocative look to it. A lot of the other named rooms, it feels like, are just kind of, okay, you know, it looks like a letter, so we call it the Iced Tea, or J, or H, or the Dark U basement in Pod, or things of that nature.
Yeah.
But then you get something like Fishbone Room. If you say Fishbone Room, I have a pretty good idea what to expect. If I don't know anything about the game, and I'm just looking around in dungeons, and I run into that room, I'm likely to know what you're talking about.
Good dash there from Falcon, pointing the shield.
Pie's just going to go ahead and prep that cape as Falcon catches the crystal off of Mothula. Buttersword Cape Half Magic Phase 1 just... I was going to say just dash through, but you can slash. Slash is fine. That gets the job done.
Yeah, Gold Sword really makes quick work. Okay, Falcon's going to check Ped here, and he's going to be confused, because this is a big key to a pitted dungeon. So,
At this point, Falcon is certainly in a position where he says, I don't care, because I don't have that dungeon logically anyway, and literally the only thing left that could really contain is the GT Big.
Yeah.
As far as things that he requires to beat the seed, now it could be silvers in Swamp Big Chest, which would be a nice to have kind of item, but it's not the sort of thing that you're going to go rush ped for.
Pie's making the play in the Eastern, not from the Dark World either. So this is the clear of Ice Palace or Eastern Palace here for Pie. He is really committing to not going to Pod without that big key.
He's down to little enough at this point that I feel like you start thinking, well, I'm just going to bring my Dark World access with me because maybe my Pod Big just pops out in one of these checks I'm about to do in Eastern Palace, and at that point, happy days are here again. Meanwhile, Falcon's just going to run directly to Helma, having cleared out the entire rest of Pod already.
Yeah, this puts... After complete Smire, that'll put him in GT mode.
I wonder how much of Mire he's going to do, knowing that that puts him in GT mode.
We did see a Swamp Small in the big chest of Mire, so... I would put him a Swamp Small and a GT Big from Go. Knowing that you still need a few items, maybe you do what you can in Mire.
It's entirely possible, or do you just pick up your couple of quick checks in Mire and say, good enough, I'm willing to risk that being GT? It's tough to say. Falcon and Pie are the ones playing the seed. It's really easy to say from the 30,000-foot view in the commentary booth that, well, you could make that choice, but when you're the one playing the seed, you make that choice.
Yep. I think Pie is going to commit to Swamp Palace here, which is good. Going to get that 6 pod small, maybe, or 5th pod small for him. No, wait, oh, he's already been to Swamp. Wait, never mind. But he's going back in here, so not gonna be able to do a whole lot though with 2 small keys. This is I think this is his first trip in this swamp, actually.
Yeah, I believe this is Pie's first trip. Falcon's been handling that room every which way. We saw Ice Rod on those earlier. I think we saw Beams the first time. And this time we got the Bow Strat. Just proving there are a lot of ways to handle that Stalco's trap room.
There's that important TR small for Pie. Now he can beat TR.
His TR bailout key, as it were. Crystal number 6 there for Falcon. He just needs to go do Meyer, and then he can get into GT.
We are going to get some new checks here. Oh, he's going. Oh, don't spit. Oh my gosh, Pi, what are you doing? I'm sorry. Why wouldn't you go to the back here?
I don't know, especially since he's now going to just go ahead and flood that. Now, you can still dive her down for it. It's entirely possible. But essentially, Pi is now banking on what? GT Big being on left side swamp? I think that's the only way that this play doesn't ruin him utterly.
Yeah. This is. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see if this is going to pay off. But it's high risk here for Pi.
High risk, but if the GT Big is over here, it's also high reward.
Compass the skull.
And it looks like Falcon is going to make a pretty decent number of checks in here, and bombs on the other one. Yeah, alright, so
Yeah.
Pi is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. He needs to go to pod. I think that's where he's going to head right now, I hope. Go to 5. Or not.
He's going to go clean up Turtle Rock.
Okay.
And Falcon is certainly not going to miss the Swamp Swamp. If he's willing to do the nail a big key location in Meyer, he's doing everything.
Yeah.
That was another one of those potential points where Pi could have picked something up before he decided he was going to open left side swamp. I honestly don't know that he has a whole lot of outs left now. I guess there is one that's a little off board, maybe, and that would be pulling GT big before going to GT. Meanwhile, Falcon full clears the basement looking for it. But he doesn't have a whole lot of places for that to happen. The second 2 checks in Castle Tower, I think, are the big outstanding ones.
Yeah, I think that's about it, really. Pyramid Fairy could be a thing.
Falcon having to go back for this. He did not get his dash started in time and the bridge collapsed under his feet. But he is going to get that Swamp Small.
if I can say anything about this seed is they're healthy.
There's no denying that. 17 hearts on Pie's side, 18 for Falcon. With the red mail, with the half magic, with the cape, with the butter sword, you're certainly not lacking for safety. Maybe the only safety we're really lacking is we've only got 3 bottles between the runners. Alright, Butter Sword Trinax, 1, 2, 3, and then Fire Rod, 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Phase 1's over. Bye! Falcon seems intent on preserving some arrows here.
Yeah. You only got 10. You're about to climb GT. You want to save some arrows.
Well, until he finds the big key, he's not actually going to climb GT. You're going to open at least a little. But still, when you have Butter Sword, it's not the worst thing in the world if you're going to slash the big eye at the end of Vitreous. Looks like Pie's going to give us Hair Basement.
Falcon's gonna go ahead and knock out Pyramid Fairy. Maybe even finish Castle Tower before going to GT.
It's thorough, but at this point, if you're thinking, I don't trust the game and the placement of some of these keys, I want to be sure that I'm actually completing GT when I make my mountain climb. And who knows, maybe I luck into a Swamp Palace Small while I'm doing this. It could save you some time in searching around in GT Basement. It's possible.
Have we seen all the checks in Castle Tower? No, we've seen the first 2. And that should be a clear indication of Pie to go back to Pod at this point. I would think. I've been wrong, but we'll see. I don't think Pie has much left, though.
Unless he would like to go to Castle Tower, which it looks like he would, actually. So somehow it looks like we're going to wind up with both of our runners in Castle Tower here. We're going to reconverge right now. Or, you know, not.
Or not. Okay.
I'm a little surprised by that. Falcon decided really thorough, really thorough, really thorough. I'm right in front of Castle Tower with 2 checks available and it's clearable, but I'm going to save it. Okay. Again, when you're the one who's playing the seed, you're the one who gets to make the choices, and you get to make the comms look like complete fools sometimes. It happens. If I thought that was a problem, I certainly wouldn't play this game, much less talk about it. Let's
First
see
we check the
Castle Tower
Tower.
3. Yeah, Castle Tower 3.
Dollar. Oh, right. He has to go back to pod for 4.
And
Oh,
Pi
yeah.
hasn't been to pod for 4 yet, so that's the end of his run there. So if GT Big Key is in Castle Tower 4, both of them are going to wind up double dipping Castle Tower.
Okay, so okay, we got 4 small keys for GT, so we can get a fair amount of checks here. Not all of them are in logic, but we're gonna see most of it here probably.
At
Never
this point,
mind, we
yeah,
got 5 now.
you're likely to see at least a couple of those pop out because Falcon has very thoroughly cleared this video game. It could be, logically speaking, that the game expects you to get access to more of them in Swamp Palace via keys that you find in here, but for the moment you should probably proceed on the basis that you're finding at least one more GT small key in GT, would be my guess, if I were playing the seed.
I mean, there's probably one in the big chest of swamp, but who's counting, right?
Yeah, you can get by on 7, just don't open the middle door. Pi, if you open the middle door, I'm telling you now, before you get there, I won't even have words for you. I will tell your teammates and let them have words for you.
There's the silver arrows in compass room. Oh, don't go back to ice.
Another Meyer small there for Falcon.
The pod big.
That thing
Oh,
that
man.
Pi was desperately searching for before coming here.
Yeah. Another GT small. Okay, so we can pretty much full clear G basement at this point now on Falcon side. There's a swamp. Okay, so so Falcon just needs to find the GT big key and he's good to go. A little trouble with that boomerang there. There we go. Oh, I guess. Oh, I thought they had all the Castle Tower keys. All right, I was wrong.
Yeah, that was the inclination I was under as well. Well, that's
well.
fine. Now he's got it. It's not a problem.
Explains why
Now
you didn't go back to the Castle Tower.
Yeah, and now it's brutally funny if the GT Big is in Castle Tower check 4.
I thought we'd seen them all. My mistake. Everyone thought that. Sorry. All right. Random room. What you got? We got there's. Okay. Well, now we can. Just really need to find that GT big key now. Alright, completes Crystal 7. Last chance for GT Big Key in GT. And we're going somewhere else. Oh, tower room.
Yeah, we're going to tower room. Let's not give up on GT just yet. It's an awful long climb back up here.
Yeah.
It's always fun to me watching the Rorschach test that is doing GT tile room. It seems like every runner who doesn't just cape up and grab the wall has a different way they like to handle this. And it's a bit of a personality test, really.
Okay. Not in GT. Simply going back to swamp here. Gonna go ahead and clear that out. Wouldn't that be funny if they had to beat swamp to get the swamp Vicky off pad to go back into swamp to get GT Vicky? That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
There's been plenty of nonsense in this seed. I wouldn't be entirely surprised by one more.
Looks like Falcon wants to go ahead and knock out Castle Tower here. Just in case we can we're probably gonna find another swamp small up here, and because we don't have a lot left. I have a feeling that's why Falcon is deciding to do this. Just in case he gets some more swamp smalls up here, in full clear swamp. He's been pretty completionist in this run, so.
At this point, you look at what you're missing and you say, yeah, I'm just gonna go to the dungeon that I know I can complete and not leave checks behind in.
Hey, that's chest. That's check. It's just arrows, though. So, nothing Castle
Okay.
Tower.
Your answer's in swamp somewhere. Unless there's just some random off-the-board check that Falcon skipped, and it really doesn't feel like Falcon's been skipping anything.
No. No.
There's the end of Aga for Falcon. And right back to 4 for Falcon. This will be Swamp. We'll see what the game has to say here, because we do still need, logically speaking, some Swamp Smalls to show up.
Falcon's skipping left side, so he's not going to get baited into those checks anyway. We know there's nothing over there.
Now, we may still live in a world where you need to pull that big key and come back for GT Big and Swamp Big Chest, in which case maybe Falcon winds up over there. But that's also predicated on the Swamp Small showing up, and they're kind of starting to run out of places where they can do that here.
Yeah.
Whereas, if the game gives you the ability to climb GT, the other
Oh,
ones
it's right there. Never mind.
Just fall into your inventory, yep.
It's about the 159 mark. Falcon's in go mode, and Pie's not going to be too far behind.
Silver's making very short work of phase 2 Argus. There's a bee in a bottle. So all of a sudden we found all the bottles. They were just really tied to the late game for the most part.
That's a good point, Chad. Pie may need another Swamp Small here. Because he opened up the left side. Okay, I'm not sure.
Well, as long as he doesn't go crazy and open that door. Because I think he found 5 grand total, and yeah, he just needs to open the door before boss at this point.
Okay, yeah, he should be fine then. There is go mode for Pie. Makes me wonder where are the other Swamp Smalls. Maybe that Pie has a vanilla one.
That's possible, and on the GT climb seems like the other location, because we've got 4 chests and 1 key drop up there, I think. And the mini Helma normally has a key. So there's some options.
GT big chest, maybe? Yeah.
At this point, unless Falcon muscle memories into one of those, I don't think we're really going to find out.
Yeah. I don't see him opening up any more chests. What else can you find that would help you? Nothing.
Especially in a key sanity mode where the game can punish you a couple of extra seconds with a text box if you decide that you're going to open something that you don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
That Blue Zazak was playing very good prevent defense there, but the only thing he prevented was the quickness of his demise, which is exactly what the prevent defense does. Magical silver ammunition works every time it's tried. Pi is going to start chasing Falcon up GT here, but just in case you weren't watching the tracker, Falcon does have Castle Tower done already, so this is a bit more of a gap than it looks.
Yep.
Okay, it's not Randomizer, so it's not as though Falcon's going to get wall mastered here, so unless his controller comes out of the port and he gets bodied for 15 hearts worth of damage before he can get it plugged back in, never mind, he's already out of the room. He's just got Agatu and Ganon in front of him.
That'd be funny to Agatu fight. Oops, Wallmaster.
In the Agatu room. At Rando Devs, hi, I'd like to report a stroke of evil genius. Aga no longer throws blue balls, he throws Wallmasters. Falcon getting some dash pokes for fun and profit there. You can get through that phase with Buttersword just about any way you want.
Cannon behaving, not giving us any warps so far. 0 warps, as a matter of fact. Quick 2. Torch glitch. Well, not quite, but it's fine.
When you get the double position in the first phase, if you can land that torch glitch, you can get a quick second double and it works out. Otherwise, when you've got silvers, torch glitch, really more of a detriment than anything. But yeah, we'll just wait for Falcon to last this fanfare, and then when he pulls the sword down and walks across the bridge, get your GGs ready, you're gonna need them.
GG's the Falcon. Gonna take this race. We finished with a time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, 57 seconds.
Putting another 3 points on the board there for Team KFC, raising them to 15 on the season. That is, I believe, out of a possible 21 for them at the moment, since I believe this was the first of the 2 games between these teams this week. Pi has Aga 2 down. He'll need to do Aga 1 here really quick.
Decides to. But he is going to continue here.
And we are joined by today's victor, Falcon. Good game to you, sir.
GG Falcon.
Good evening. Thank you. Okay, so what was this? This triple dip adventure? It was. It was.
You know what the funny thing is? Pi was committed to opening about every door that he saw. He did left side swamp with like 2 keys.
Oh my god! No. Oh,
yeah,
that's bad.
But one thing that did pay off for Pi was that he did the big chested pod early, and he had that Samaria very early.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the big key of pod was in there, and I think I went in there first with 2 keys. Oh no, I went there only one time, except for the when I had to go for the Samaria. So I went late in pod, but I did almost everything. But yeah, God, that Samaria with the 6 keys of pod that puts this chest in logic with the Samaria that unlocks everything. Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
All of the 6 key lock locations in pod were valuable. We had Samaria there. There was something else in the vanilla big key location. There was the pod big key in Dark Maze, and then of course you had to beat Helma because it's all dungeons.
Yeah. No. Yeah, indeed. I believe the 6th key of Swamp is probably the one that I saw at Lumberjack. Because I think I don't have anything else in logic. I mean, I was technically able to do. I could spend the 5th key opening, the door that we don't open anymore because of the spiky clip. And then I had a choice, either left side swamp or go to the boss. So the 6th key cannot be left side swamp. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything else in the game available.
Yeah.
Except the top of GT could have the 6th one, maybe.
Yeah.
Which would have been a little bit disgusting.
Thank goodness Specky Clip exists.
It would be really
for
on
this
brand
mode,
to see,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, for this mode, I'm glad it exists. But yeah, it was really very difficult to route because there were no. I mean, at some point, okay, we had a good choice. Look at well, Ice Palace. I messed up a little bit the routing because I realized that I could have started with the right side without spending a key. But there was progression, right side Ice Palace, then in the dungeon 2. And I only had 2 keys to do it.
Yeah, because Pi had that Samaria, he was able to route everything in one go. So.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much the point there. So, but in the end, it didn't really matter because Pi was committed to because he even did lava chest without all the TR spalls. So.
Oh yeah, no. I had the 6 keys when I went in TR, so I did everything, but.
And how surprised were you when you pulled that fire rod off a laser bridge?
Yeah. It was like the perfect timing. I just said I was mute on my stream, but I said okay, that's convenient. It
Go
was
ahead and
just.
GG's ready for Pi, by the way, who's now going to cross this bridge and finish up the seed for us this evening. Looks like we'll have him here in the booth in just a moment as well.
All right, now, GG Pi.
GG.
Hello, Pi. GG.
Man, it felt so good until it didn't.
So
yeah,
now
I
we have
noticed.
both of you. Can we talk about how both of you on 3 Desert Smalls just decided to open right side and pull that pearl right out? Both of you did it.
Honestly, they were so fast that I just said there's no way. It could have been like the first chest of the back of the Desert, I know, but three keys right at the beginning, it was like, I will get the 4th one. And then I see the moon pearl right side. I said, okay, I know exactly out of 5-6 chests where it is. I don't have to worry about it ever.
And it was hilarious how logically
Dark
ugly
World,
it was.
Yeah, Dark World Access was behind the 4 keys.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was a risk. It was a risk, I agree. I just decided it was worth the risk.
Yeah, and I was just playing logic, like 3 keys and had the 4th one. Like I can't get to the boss anyway, so let's just open up the right side. Key will come eventually.
Yeah, and the other thing also was that I didn't have the big key. That was the other factor. But it was terrible. The triple dip history and then the double dip history for mini dungeons.
Dude, I got that ice big. I'm like, no, we are not doing that today, Satan.
Oh, okay, yeah, you did the Ice Palace without that key.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why did I stick and then I got the Samaria? I'm like, oh, I guess I can finish it now.
Yeah. I had the Samaria late. I had access to Ice Palace, so I did it. I had the big key. I don't remember where it was, but I had it.
Well, yeah, the big chest of ice wasn't anything helpful. So.
No, it was nothing. So it was fine. But yeah, it was honestly it was a very difficult one for routing. And yeah, at some point we had a choice between. I had a choice between ice and swamp. I think I had a few keys for each of them.
Yeah.
But swamp keys were not in logic. I think I got that out of logic somewhere. In Bud maybe. So I just said, okay, it's not there.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that it would not be the swamp big on Ped.
Yeah, you
honestly, I thought it was the case, to be honest. I was like all eyed for that, you know.
You were really committing to finding the pod big key before going back to pod. Was that the case, or was it just your
Yeah, it was.
off as a pod, or?
Yeah, like I figured there's so much stuff to do, and I was missing like eight total keys. I'm like, I'll come back to pod eventually, and just grab everything.
Yeah.
It either pod will be my go mode, or it'll just lead me to go mode.
Sorry?
Oh no, that's the reason why I wanted to go back to pod. Like, I had 5
Oh,
checks
okay,
left,
okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
and either the big key's there and it's like my go mode, or it'll just close up my go mode.
Yeah. So I think Go mode was GT big key and every day in that seat.
Yep.
Oh, not even sure there's another Go mode possible unless maybe the last key of Swamp.
Yeah,
logically,
I certainly
yes.
tried to make it a swamp small.
I mean, I only needed 2, and I got 2 in the lower part of GT, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, when I got all the Swamp keys, I was like, and the big key was not showing up. I was like, okay, it's gonna be there. Then I go for Swamp, and then I said, oh no, let's go finish Agatha first. Maybe it's there. And then I can avoid all the chest and Swamp and everything.
Yeah, how about
But,
that green pennant to shovel to book?
Yeah, to both Bell. Yeah, no comment. Honestly.
And logically, it was supposed to be that to Ether Tablet for Desert Palace Small Key 4 to Pearl.
Yeah.
It's worse than it looks.
Yeah, that's true.
That was so bad.
Hey, that's true. That's true. The fourth one, it was an Ether tablet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible. But I'm glad it's over. It's a fun mode, but too many keys. Honestly, just too many keys for my taste.
Yeah, that's what makes Kabuki like unique, because it is the key drop. I honestly kind of enjoy a little bit, but it does throw the logic through my head much more painfully.
Yeah.
Well, now you two get to put this one to bed, and you get to watch your teammates play it. The Game 2 of this between Grouchy Old Men and Team KFC is coming up on Wednesday night. That's going to be
I'll
a
check that out.
10:15 p.m. rando time start.
Yep, I will be in bed. So good luck to Verts.
Yeah, for once I will be able to watch, because usually they do this when I'm at work. So. But yeah, excited to see this. Should be fun.
Heck yeah.
That'll be a fun one. Looking at the rest of the schedule for this evening. If you're looking for a little more Link to the Past Randomizer League, over on SpeedGaming Prime, starting about 20 minutes ago, give or take, To Infinity and Bagog versus Damploaf Dompe. That's Will WC versus Vextifer is taking place. That's an Invitational League matchup. And then an hour after that, so in about 40 minutes from now, channel unassigned, but there is a commentator assigned, so I assume they're looking for a channel for this still. Don't forget to track us versus Longshots, Flip Heel, and Tyler Salt. So keep an eye out for that one as well. If you're interested in other speed gaming related goings on, you can always go to speedgaming.org/schedule and see not just the Link to the Past Randomizer League matches that are coming up, but everything else that's going on in and around the Speed Gaming family of channels. With that said, Falcon, Mike, Pi, however we're going to call you right now, thank you very much for putting on a wonderful show. Even if I had my questions for both of you from time to time about some of the choices you made, it was an entertaining show, if nothing else. I'll leave all of the rest of that to your teammates, but we're going to go ahead and close up shop here. Captain, it was, as usual, a pleasure to work with you, sir.
Always a pleasure to work with you as well. And GG's to both of our runners. And thank you to our tracker, Lady Laura Linda, for trying to keep track of this mess. Thank you very much. You did a wonderful job.
Have a great rest of your evening, folks. Whether you're going to spend it with a little more Link to the Past Randomizer League or not, have a great time, and we will catch you again here in the future for some more Kabuki Drop. It's going to be going on all week, so if this was interesting to you, fear not, there's more coming. But bye for now. We're out of here.
Peace.